Can you explain a little bit as to how you got your first customer? Just too curious as to how that worked out.
I had about a couple of EV scooters in my apartment. I wanted to use it for delivery now that I had done some customer interviews. So I would literally sit on LinkedIn for 8 hours a day and just message every single C level that I could find that would potentially be a potential client. Out of, I think in my entire life till date, I've probably messaged close to 20,000 people on LinkedIn, if not more. But not every single person replies. But it works, right? It works because the ones that you really just need that one person to validate your idea, and then it's a snowball effect. So what I did, idea that I had then was I wanted to rent out EVs to these companies. And on that three pilot basis, I was very confident that we could import millions of EVs from China and then flood the market with EV rentals. That was a disaster. So I actually raised $1 million on that pilot basis. That was 2021 and 2020. And in 2021, we went back to China, ordered this time like 200 bikes. They landed in 2022, and we realized that none of my customers that were doing pilots with actually wanted more than 2 or 3 bikes. So here I had a warehouse of 200 bikes. We have spent about $400,000 in capex. All the big customers upon whose promises I had raised that capital were suddenly defaulting, and they were saying, "Hey, we don't want anything." And so I remember one of my angels came up to me like, "Dude, this is a real business, right? There's something here." That was March of 2022. And then the real epiphany that I had then is I need to speak to way more customers than I've already had. And I again reached out to every single person in my network that I could. One guy connected me to another guy who connected me to another guy. And eventually I found myself in front of a logistic company, a local one, who said, "We don't want bikes, but can you give me bikes and drivers?" So I went on the streets again, found a bunch of drivers, and I started sending these bikes with drivers to this client. We became a logistic company. Effectively, we became a logistic company without
Right.
realizing it. So that's the customers that I spoke to and what they, and again, whatever they told me they wanted, in some instances didn't validate it enough. And then once I did get some good traction, I validated it a lot more. And this logistics idea became a lot more robust.